So this video we're going to talk about some dog food because this is actually very important for your dog because unless you're knowing what you're doing with raw food and cooking your own food for your dog, which is great, but that's only if you know what you're doing. If not, if you know someone that does raw food or cooking their own food for their dogs, meet with that person and ask them everything they know about cooking it. It's obviously, if you know what you're doing, again, it's the best for your dog. But most people don't have time for this, and you end up having to buy dog food. Now, I want you to realize this. Just because it's in like a grocery store and you see commercials on TV doesn't mean it's going to be the best food out there. The quality is really the most important because everything that goes in your dog will give the dog its health. You feed bad stuff, cheap stuff, less quality, it will result in a less healthier dog over time. So that's why it's very important to do a little bit of research on the kinds of dog food out there. I'm not going to tell you a specific brand because it may not be around in the area where you live. So I'm just going to tell you a few things that you need to know. So again, quality over cost. Premium dog food is what you want to go for. The reason premium dog food, and this is what a lot of people kind of look at, oh, premium probably means expensive. Yes, it's usually more expensive than the cheaper stuff you usually find in the grocery store or the big box stores. Cheaper stuff often, I've noticed over time, when people give dogs premium dog food, they eat half the amount compared to the cheaper stuff. Meaning, if they eat 1 cup of premium dog food, they would eat almost 2 cups of the cheaper stuff. Meaning there's more food filler stuff in there, giving them a lot less waste, more food in, more food out, if you know what I mean. So there's more to clean up. And I've seen this in puppies before where they really just binge on the bowl, and the next day after getting the premium dog food, after a day and a half, they start to realize, oh man, this is filling, and they start to eat a lot less. So that's kind of how I noticed over time that premium dog food really gives them everything they need, plus they have less waste. Now the other thing is with dog food, so they eat less, but they get more nutrients in their food. They get more of the good stuff rather than just food filler compared to the cheaper quality stuff. Often, and especially black dogs, you can see that the coat of the dog is starting to get shiny and almost glossy. Just to kind of show the health of the dog radiates through the hair. And it shows health, like a dog will look healthy because of the quality of the food. If someone feeds cheaper quality or poor quality dog food, it will reflect, especially again with black dogs, it gets a little dull, which shows that the dog is actually malnutritioned. It's the same with people. If people are malnutritioned, you can actually see by the hair that they're actually malnutrition. And if they're healthy, you can usually also again tell by their skin, by their hair, that they're healthy because it shows. And it's the same with dogs too. The other thing you want to consider when looking at different dog foods is that do they offer a wide variety of stages throughout life and a wide variety of sizes of dogs. You can't give a Chihuahua and a Saint Bernard the same food. A Chihuahua is only going to be a few pounds, while a Saint Bernard can be like up to 200 pounds or so. So obviously they have different growth speeds. They have different needs because of the one is a giant dog and needs specific foods meant for giant dogs versus food for a Chihuahua, which doesn't have the same needs as a Saint Bernard does. So it's very important that you find a brand that offers different sizes for different kinds of dogs because they cater to the needs of that size of that dog. There are certain brands out there that even offer purebred breeds, which obviously is even cooler because they offer it just for that particular breed. Now, there's too many purebred breeds out there, and then there's a lot more mixes available of that as well. So usually you're having to settle for the size of that particular dog. So when you go to the grocery store, you often see one bag of puppy food. and then maybe 1 or 2 adult size dog foods, which you can't really use, of course, because as I just explained, there's a reason why other brands kind of diversify this way. Then you want to look at, do they offer puppy stage, young adult, adult, and then mature stage? They have different stages for each size of dog as well. This will show you again that they really know what they're doing for the quality that they provide for the dog, for the age of the dog as well. Because a younger dog needs maybe more protein versus an older dog that may not need as much protein or fat, depending on the breed, of course, and mix. So that is kind of what you want to look for. You can obviously go on and on and on about dog food. So if you really want to know more about the types of dog food and what could be best for your dog, I would highly recommend you visit an unbiased website about dog food, where you can ask experts about particular dog foods or the needs of your dog. And it's petnutrition.com, and you'll see the link in the bottom of the screen. So I highly recommend, if you want to know more, go to that website, ask some questions, and then do some research in the area around you, and visit some pet stores and look for the right food for your dog. Obviously, the best thing, again, for your puppy at this moment, because you just took it home, you want to stay on the same food that they're on right now. You don't want to just change it just because I told you want to go to better dog food. It's possible that the person you got the dog from may not have given them quality dog food, which is okay. So for the first month or so, you stay on the same food, and then after a month, you're going to slowly introduce the new food. And the reason for that is you don't want to change it in the next 5 days after you just brought it home. The puppy may be a little bit upset by leaving its siblings. If you start to change the food now, you might actually upset the system a bit too much. So give the puppy a month with the same food that they've been eating, and then after a month they're more used to you, the new environment, and then gradually over 4 or 5 days you introduce the new food. And the way you do that is you have 75% of the old food and then add 25% of the new food in. The next day you go to like 50-50, then day after 75-25, the other way around, and then by the 4th day you can probably already go over to 100% of the new food. So that's kind of how you introduce new food for puppies as well, and we'll see you in the next video.